Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bouk and Zoobie show on the world famous LIR.com, 927LIR.com, and YouTube. I am John Kalaboukas, the Bouk, with my friend Paul Zubulake. Zoobie. So, how did you like the sweep that we had in Philadelphia? A team that I was so worried about, and it turned out I had nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, John. And yes, Bouk and Zuby, we are back, and we couldn't be more excited. I mean, we're both wearing blue by accident, but we're wearing our go tri-state area, as opposed to go New York, go New York. But actually, the Knicks are legitimately a New York team, and they have been, John. They have been so impressive. And I don't think it's going out on a limb. I mean, and this kind of reminds me, I know I'm going to go way back here to the 86 Mets, but I thought the 86 Mets were going to win the World Series. That's how good they were. They did it. And as both of us remember, it was
Yeah,
not easy.
yeah.
This team is making it look easy. And as we speak, right on today is what is today, the 12th of May. In between the series between I guess where it's up for grabs, right, with the Cavs and the Pistons. The Knicks are going to be prohibitive favorites in this next round.
Yeah,
John,
they'll.
this is our chance. The tri-state area, John. And I'm not going to fall into this, oh, we're jinxing them garbage. I did, we like to tell it how it is and how we feel. This team, I think, is going to do it, John. So what
Yeah.
do you think?
Well, it's funny. A couple of weeks ago, you were saying that you
They
didn't
would
think they were
lose
going
to
to
the
get
Celtics.
past the
Yeah.
Celtics, right? I remember you were
Yeah.
down on them, and I'm saying, yeah, no, we're not going to be down on them. I mean, I thought they would get in the finals, and to tell you the truth, I've been watching the Cleveland Detroit series. It's I I don't think it's going to be much of a series with either one of them because if you look at Detroit, if you shut down Cunningham, that's it. That game's over. I mean, you put Ananobi or Bridges on him, they have nothing. I'm sorry. I don't know how they've made it this far, to be honest. Cleveland, it's the same way with uh, I mean,
Mitchell.
yeah, I mean, Mitchell. Listen, Mitchell's a really good player. Um, but you have Allen and you have Mobley. That they're big guys, but I don't know, they're not tough guys. They're
Yeah,
not
they're not
tough.
physical. I mean,
No.
Allen is to an extent. Mobley is not. To an
Yeah,
extent, Mobley is not. So you're right. I
Allen.
agree.
Allen to me is sometimes he just looks like he's sleepwalking. Uh, and Harden, you know, uh, he's another guy you could easily shut down. I mean, what I am astonished is the way Detroit has been playing defense. I mean, all these wide open shots, not switching. I mean, it was almost like they were disinterested in the game, the last game, and and to tell you the truth, that when Detroit could have gone up 3 games to nothing, and Cunningham made three bonehead turnovers. It almost looked like it was fixed. I'm sorry. The way I don't know. Did you see those? Were you
I,
watching that when he
I
did it?
did. I actually did catch the. You're talking about Game 4 now, right? At the end of the game.
Game
Yeah.
three.
Oh, Game
Game
3. You're
three.
talking about. So I think he had a bad turnover at the end of Game 4 as well. So,
Yeah,
but
but
anyway, you tell me.
the game three, they basically Detroit could have easily won this game easily, and it must have been maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. He made three turnovers in a row. And it was, I mean, he literally threw passed the ball into their hands twice. And then the other time he just dribbled it and they swiped. I mean, it looked so fixed to me.
Are you
I
talking?
don't
Is this the play when he threw like from out of bounds and Struess like picked the ball out, basically almost looked like he gave it to, handed to him? Was that Game
that, it,
3?
that actually I
Or was
forgot
that
about
Game 4?
that one. That's not even that.
Was that game 4? That's why they're all.
That
I
was
don't think
game
I saw
3.
game 3.
No,
That was game 3.
I think it was game 3 that happened
Well,
too. I'm
well,
telling you, it's one thing about Cunningham is that you could tire this guy out, and because they like to play him a lot, just tire him out. And you got the game. Harris has been very lucky in these. All of a sudden he's a great shooter from 3. You just put someone on him, he's getting nothing. And they have a bunch of other guys other than what's that guy's name? He used to be on Miami. Oh God, I forgot his name. 3-point shooter.
oh, Robinson.
Robinson, thank you. That's one guy you got to watch. But the rest of them, other than, I mean, listen, Jenkins from St. John's, he looks pretty good. He's been pretty good for them.
Yeah,
But
no, they. I
I
mean, they,
I I just think that either team that we play, I think Cleveland will be the more difficult team because they have a lot of weapons. But they're not a tough team. We're a very physical team. They're not going to like that. And if particularly with Harden, 12 if he gets 12 to 15 points a game off the Knicks, that'll be a lot.
well,
We're gonna
he did have a big game, game 4, right? Harden. He made shots after shots. He made some
Yeah, because they
prayers
were
too.
leaving him wide open, wide
Well, he
open.
made that one contested 3, and he
Yeah,
did sink that. So
yeah.
it's right because everybody's crapped on him, including us. And I got to give him a little credit because he did actually make some big
No, he
shots
played
there.
well in Game 4. He
Yeah,
played
I
well.
don't disagree with you, John. I mean, the Knicks are playing at such a high level right now, and to get back to what you had mentioned earlier about the Boston, where I had said all the Knicks were going to disappoint us, and that's why I thought the Celtics would beat them. And then the Celtics, and it's funny, I ended up watching, I guess it was maybe game 3 against the Sixers, and I was like, if Tatum is not, if he can't play, they're in huge trouble. I mean,
Yeah,
because I hadn't been watching as closely as I should have been when I'm making predictions, but they got nothing out of what Vukovic, right? Like
nothing. They didn't
zero.
even play him. They
They're
didn't
not
even play
playing him.
him.
They didn't play him. So when the Sixers came back and they looked how good they looked, and we both talked, and again, we haven't had a show in a while, and so we didn't have a chance to talk about that series, but both of us thought it was going to be a war 6 or 7 game series. I mean, we both thought the Knicks would prevail,
Right.
but for them, I mean, John, just an absolute blowout. I mean, the Knicks are just they're playing team ball. They're playing great defense. And then on top of it, right, losing OG
Yeah.
before game 3. And it didn't even matter. I mean, this is just, I mean, you got to, it's like being a Knick fan, and you're a huge Knick fan. And let's face it, this is my, again, we always joke, right? The tri state area, the teams we root for can't win a championship. And the Knicks, of course, are number 4 in my list, but they're definitely not number 4 in yours. Would you
No.
would you put them 2? How would you rate them? Because you're so disgusted with the Mets. Have the Knicks overtaken the Mets? Because that's the way I would rate you, right?
But
Mets, Knicks, Jets.
you're talking about for this year or
No,
for
in general,
overall
like
fandom? No,
yeah,
no.
I mean, let's
Obviously, the Mets
all
are
right.
one.
Okay, and then
I would say Jets and Knicks tied for 2.
oh, okay. I knew the
Uh,
Jets were in there too, but okay.
yeah, tied
Right.
for
So then
2.
I'm obviously the other way where the Jets number 1, Rangers, and yeah, Rangers, Mets are pretty. I mean, I don't know, man. I have to say the Rangers probably. I do like hockey more than baseball, but it's close. And then the Knicks have always been kind of the 4th team. But this team is a great team
Yeah,
to root for. They got good guys, and they do have the winning pedigree. And it's almost like these Villanova guys. They did it in college, and they want to do it in the NBA. And I have to tell you, John, after like I'm talking about decades of my favorite player, Nick player is it's always been Bernard King, right?
me
It's
too.
always been, and it will
Me too.
be forever. But
Yep.
I got to tell you, Josh Hart, I love Josh Hart. It's now I'm not going to say he's unseating Bernard. Yeah, that's not fair. But I'm telling you, I just love this guy. He's the glue, man. And he just is something about this guy. He obviously is not, he's the 5th option on offense, but I don't think they could win without him.
No, he's all over the place. I mean, just think about how we are defensively. Put aside Brunson because Brunson is just a disaster defensively. He can't guard anyone. But when you have Anunoby and Hart out there, even Bridges, you got to give him
Yeah,
credit.
no,
He's been
it's been great.
shutting down. He's
He
been
shut.
shutting down. He shut down Maxey.
He
He shut
did
him down.
big time,
I
big time.
mean, you got two guys. Because I'll put Anunoby in the same context as uh, Hart. These are two guys that die for everything. They're always swatting at you. They're always swatting at the ball. They dive for the ball. And I always get worried because the way they dive, they just reckless abandon. And I'm saying, oh my God, you got to break a thumb, you got to break your hand, you got to break your face. It's incredible the energy that these guys put into it. I mean,
Yeah.
especially Hart. Hart is he's I mean he literally sprained his I forget which finger he sprained. He was out there, of course. They're saying, oh, questionable. And I said, no, there's no question that Josh Hart will be out there.
Yeah, no, he's got a hockey player mentality, Josh Hart. He
Yeah,
really does. And I'll tell you, you're right about Brunson defensively, but he's a clutch player and he's tough. And he
yes.
can't, like you said, he gets exposed. They can kind of hide him. There's usually at least one option on the other team that you can kind of hide him. So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. It's all about the winner of Detroit, Cleveland.
Yeah.
We don't even because we don't know who they're going to face out west. That's obviously, obviously OKC is the prohibitive favorite. We'll see what happens in the Wolves Spurs series where Wembanyama just you got to be careful. You cannot get ejected in a game, right? I mean that is just brutal. And they almost won. They still
right.
almost won.
That's what I was going to say. Even
No.
with him being out, they almost won the game. Minnesota barely pulled it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you'll see the Spurs winning that series, but really, you have to give kudos to Shamit. Played fantastic defense.
Yeah.
I mean, really great defense. Because as I was texting you about McBride, when they were playing, I said, yeah, they're so much taller than McBride, and they were taking advantage. I mean, Paul George was taking advantage. Maxey was taking advantage. Once they put Shamit in there, Shamit did a fantastic job on defensively and shooting wise too.
Absolutely, he played.
And McBride, the last game was unconscious.
I didn't even see game 4. It was Mother's Day, right? So I did miss game 4. It didn't matter.
Yeah, they could have won that game by 50 easily if they wanted.
Crazy.
I mean, they put the reserves in the fourth. They started putting the reserves in at the end of the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter. So I was watching Tyler Kolek and the rest of them playing garbage time.
Yeah, it's been incredible. This is an incredible run. It's hard to bet against this team right now, and we will definitely be back before the finals because we're gonna, John. We think it's gonna happen, and I don't want to say it's only a matter of time because that's absurd because people get angry at me. The same guy who took the Celtics 3 weeks ago is now calling this, but I just call it like I see it.
Right.
And they're just playing at such a high level. They really are. And kudos, got to give credit to Mike Brown. You really do. He's utilized the bench, which we begged Coach Tibbs. That was the one thing we would bet. But they're just deeper team. They made Leon Rose really, again, kudos to him.
I mean, you have Clarkson, you have Robinson, you have oh my God.
Well, you're mentioning Shamit Shamit playing, real minutes, John. He's playing real minutes.
Yeah.
And they just had, and obviously getting Cat in the trade. And he's playing great. And he's playing better defensely.
And he's distributing the ball, too.
They're running the offense through him. It's amazing.
I've been saying that all along. Just let him distribute it. Like I said, we don't need 25 points a game. He's been getting 10, 15, and over 10 assists. I mean, I think they said he has 66 assists so far. I'm like, what?
Now, are the other coaches going to go to school on this and try to neutralize that? Because that's what they've been doing. It's from the height, right? From the extended foul line. They're running the offense through him. And if he has an opening, he's driving. And if if they leave him open, he's going for the threes. And it's a confidence level with him. And it's just the one thing, is the ticky tack fouling. And he's just,
Yeah.
it's,
That, with
I know the rep.
and he
It's
always pleads innocence all the time. It's like all the time.
It can drive you insane. But the good news is because they have Mitch coming off the bench healthy, despite that one game he was ill. He's been healthy. Yeah, I mean they're playing 9 or 10 guys now,
Yeah.
and I, not the garbage time, but yeah, their guys are resting. I mean, of course, everyone's going to say now, are they going to have too much rest? So just for our viewers out there and listeners, John, when is game one? Because we don't know. Is it
Well, again, depending on when
right?
that
But they're
series
up. They
ends.
only have 3 games left there.
Yeah.
So
So Sunday would be the game.
okay, so Sunday is
I would say Sunday.
that
Yeah.
would be the game. Okay, so we don't know 100%. I guess I don't think they would move it.
No.
Right?
It is.
Yeah,
It would
it
be
is
Sunday
Sunday.
because now that it's 2 games apiece.
Right, they have 3
You,
games left.
right. You figure.
No, then
Wednesday, Friday. No,
yeah,
actually, it
yeah.
could be later than that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to
It
be
goes
like the
the full 7.
following. It could be the following Wednesday. So that's again, we're talking Tuesday hosting, Wednesday, Thursday. So the time people listen to this will be a little closer to that. But the Knicks are going to be off for 10 days. So there's a good side of that. Anunoby can hopefully get healthy because we're blinded right now because losing him, if he doesn't play and they still win the championship, that would kind of be a surprise, correct?
Yeah. No, we
So
need
they
him.
need him. They do, right? I mean,
If they face OKC, they
right,
need him.
right.
They
They're
need
going to
him.
need him against the big challenge. But like I said, let's don't even go there because OKC needs to still play a series, and of course the Knicks do. So yeah, I mean, this is John. I mean, it's been how many years? 52, 53. It's going to be 53 years.
53.
53
And
years.
for me as a fan, I started following them in 1975. So it's been 51 years. I've seen 2 finals, 94 and 99.
Yeah, and 99 wasn't even, let's
You're
face it.
right.
I mean, 94 was the one
Well,
that they should have won,
they
but
should have won.
yeah,
99, we knew
they
we
were
were
happy to be
losing.
there. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
happy to be there. They lost to the Spurs, right? So yeah, John, it's just it's party time, and I hope people who've been checking out our content as always, right, John? We want to thank everybody who's coming on and listening and watching on YouTube.com, right? Bouk and Zoobie. And on Spotify.com and the world famous LIR.com, 927LIR.com. Thanks as always to them for having our content on their platform. And please, as always, if you could like episodes, it helps. People don't like to like episodes. I get it. It's funny when I watch videos, I'm like, oh, I should like this, and I don't sometimes, but it just helps with the algorithm, folks. And that's what YouTube is. It's an algorithmic game. And of course, John, I haven't brought this one up lately because we are a word of mouth show. So if you're enjoying our content, please tell a friend.
And don't forget our friends at LIR, which they've been.
I mentioned LIR. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying their programming actually. They've
Okay, what do you
actually been
got?
hosting on Long Island and in the city. They've been hosting some parties. So they're doing a lot of our friend Mr. Chris Sharp is actually DJing some of these parties. So if you see the world famous LIR, you can see them on Long Island, and you could also see them in Manhattan as well. Just
there you go.
Look at their website.
Check it out. Yeah, the world famous LIR.com. If you like the music from the 80s and 90s, we'll call it New Wave. They have a wide variety. Yeah, it's great. Internet radio. Check it out. And then we're on their platform, so you can check us out via that. But again, thanks to everybody for checking us out. Hopefully enjoying the content. And yeah, we want this championship so bad. We want to be on the air, John, on the day after a championship, and that is just going to be a fun show where we're
We'll
just going to
bring
be.
Gamal Smith on,
We'll bring
definitely.
everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to put something in the comments, they want to join our show. If they're a big Nick fan and they want to join, guess what? We'll get you on somehow. We'll have 20 different people. It'll be like one of those Zoom calls during COVID, John. We'll have 75 people on and just all screaming and yelling because the
Yeah.
tri-state area deserves it. And even if you are a Yankee or Giant fan, obviously you're not into the pain as much as us. But let's face it, John, everybody in this town is starved. There's not one team that has won. I mean, how long has it been? I guess, is it the Yankees? 2009, right? Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah. 2009.
God, it's 17 years ago, man. That's unbelievable.
And the funny thing is they complain when they're in the playoffs every year. We're happy to even sniff the playoffs.
Well, we'll get to the Yankees. We'll definitely, because we have
Yeah.
not been talking about the Yankees.
By the
And
way,
yes, sir.
Mosley from the Orlando Magic was fired. I mean, that you talk about a series that could have eliminated Detroit. I mean, when you're up
Sure.
by 17 and you just end up losing the game. I mean, I was watching that game. I'm like, what are they doing? And then
Well, I
you
guess
knew that they were going to lose the following game. I mean, there was no doubt that they were finished after that. And Mosley, was fired. There are rumors right now that Tom Thibodeau may be the next Orlando Magic coach.
Yeah. Well, he should get a job this go
Yeah,
around. I'd be stunned if he's not back in the league.
yeah,
He's an excellent coach. It would have been great to see if he could have done it with this team.
I
We'll
know.
never know. And again, Mike Brown has not gone further. He still has to get to the finals to go further. So he
And if
still
you
has
think
one.
about last year to get to the finals was more difficult because you had that. We had to play Detroit last year, which surprised everyone. They went 6 games. Then you had Boston, and obviously Tatum ended up getting hurt, but that series was pretty much over by the time he got hurt. So everyone's saying, "Oh well, it was a little bit easier for the Knicks this year." Listen, the Hawks have a future. They're not a bad team, but they're not in anywhere near the Knicks. Philadelphia surprised that they didn't put up more of a fight.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, you could see Embiid was he has such a great touch
Yeah.
I mean, he shoots it. It's so smooth, even his foul shots, but he couldn't move the guy. I mean, who do you know comes out to play basketball, professional basketball, after you had surgery for a burst appendix 3 weeks later? I mean, this guy is just, I feel bad for him because he's had so many different injuries.
Yeah.
He's only 32 years old. He looks like he's 42 out there.
Yeah, now they're at a crossroads. I mean, my guy VJ Edgecombe, I'll tell you, he had some moments in the series. Now he did, the thing is with him with his shooting, he's very up and down, and he's either got it going or he doesn't. But I'll tell you, he showed his game, right? I mean, I don't know how Scott Drew didn't do better in that 1 year with him on the team. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
He's a real talent. He's a real talent. I mean, when you think about Edgecombe, he's only 20 years old. 2 years ago, he was playing for Lehigh High School in Long Island. I mean, and it's amazing that he's playing professional basketball and doing as well as he is.
Yeah, no,
he's amazing.
He's
going
a
to be a
great kid.
star. He's going to be a star. Yeah, and he's a good kid too.
He really cares, and that's a major part. But they're in a weird spot because I remember I was texting you and I said Maxey, he's got to get over 40 points for the Sixers to be able to win, and he even come close. I mean, it wasn't even. He had his moments a little bit, but yeah,
he was
kudos.
Suffocated. Yeah, they were suffocating him. And
you've been saying it all year, John. The Knicks play defense. They're going to win. And actually, young Alex, who was our draft guru, is also a huge Knicks fan. I'm sure he's happy. He said it on our show a few weeks ago. He's like, the Knicks, they didn't try. He goes, they're in the regular season. It's like they knew they were making the playoffs. And I mean, the way it's playing out, he's hitting it right on the head. They
Yeah.
were just, you play the NBA, John, has got such a problem. You play 82 games, and it's like it's so meaningless.
Well, now they're trying to, speaking about the NBA, so they had the draft position.
The draft lottery, yes.
Yeah, the draft lottery. I mean, I was glad that Washington ended up getting the #1 pick, because you didn't need like a Golden State getting one. I mean, a freak #1 pick.
Yeah, like
But
somebody, right, exactly.
yeah,
I
but
agree
they're
with you.
changing that next year. But it's so convoluted. I mean, I can't even speak about it, because it's it, it's just they're redoing it all. I mean, I don't know. They're going to penalize teams for tanking. Again, I don't know how you're going to monitor this. It's going to be very difficult. And the team that really, I mean, you seem to be more optimistic than me, but the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, sixth.
Well,
I mean,
that's
they
just
should.
I
I
still
was hoping
because
they
it's
get four.
4 or 5. Well, I mean, people are going to argue there's four, and you could throw Acuff in there. There's 5 guys, right? So it's Wilson from North Carolina, Boozer, Duke, um, the Peterson, Kansas, and AJ DeBonsa, BYU, and Darius Acuff.
Mhm.
That's kind of like the universal 5, right? But there's a lot of talent in this draft, John. So yeah, 5 would have been a lot better result for the Nets. I agree after further review, because you can argue that that's kind of the top 5. I'll call it actually from today. I'd be stunned if it's not those 5 guys, maybe in a different order. Maybe Acuff doesn't go 5th. He's the only guy that maybe slides just because he's undersized guard. He's not a big kid. Because there's the kid from Houston, Flemings, is actually very similar to Acuff. I mean, and then there's a kid from Illinois, Wagler. There's no Euros at all this year, so
No.
it's all going to be the college kids. But yeah, John, I mean, the Nets, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, hey, the bottom line is if the Nets were trying to tank and the NBA is trying to keep teams from tanking, didn't their current situation work then? Because the Nets got 6. It didn't pay to tank because they still kind of ended up where they wanted to be. Not wanted to be.
Yeah.
That's where that's what the NBA would want, right? The team that had tied for the best odds didn't get in the top 3 even.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you want to help the bad teams. Ultimately, the Nets are a bad team. It's not like
Yeah. They were.
right. Did they really tank? They weren't any good.
No, they weren't any good. I mean, they have a lot of young guys. I mean, there is some
Tons, yeah.
talent on the
Right.
Nets, but you know, and you look at a team like the Mavericks. Okay, how lucky they got last year. With getting
Right. We
Cooper
didn't want to see
Flag.
that happen, right? Where they
Yeah.
got rewarded
By the
for
way, they got a new what's his name? Masai. I don't even know how to pronounce his
a
name.
jury.
Ujuri. Yeah,
He got the job. I didn't even know that. He's
he
okay.
got the job. Yeah.
That's a
So yeah,
ex-Toronto GM who
yeah,
obviously
former.
finally got a good team there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Yeah, the guys, I mean, even the Orlando coach, John, it's like they're firing the coach, like they're blaming it. Oh, it's on the coach. Is that on the coach? Maybe I don't know. I guess you blow a lead, it's on the coach. I don't
He
know.
didn't particularly coach well, especially
Okay,
that
you're
game.
watching it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, when you're up by, you need to be taking a timeout. You don't wait until it gets whittled down to 5, and then you
Okay.
decide, because the moment they already lost the momentum. I'm like, what are you waiting for?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he did a particularly good job coaching. Listen, in Orlando's defense, Wagner was
Yeah.
hurt the last 2 games. They needed him, and
Yeah. You
without
can't.
him, they can't do anything.
It's amazing, like they can't. He's another guy, right? He just got hurt all year, last couple of years. God, I mean, availability, right? It's the best
They didn't play his
ability.
brother at all. They didn't play
Yeah, I
his,
mean, but he's much better than his brother. Yeah, his
yeah.
brother's okay. So whatever. Hey, it's been. I don't want to say it really hasn't been a riveting playoff at all. Let's face it. It's been OKC and the Knicks like just basically laying waste
Yeah.
to the rest of the league. So
Yeah.
as I said, I mean, we will probably not have another show until the finals or before the finals. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be checking in on the Knicks during this time. But anyway, all good, John. Anything? I guess you mentioned something before the show that we should mention, some tragic news today that you wanted to bring up, right? Brandon Clark, right, has passed away at age 29. Very sad to see.
Yeah, yeah. And again, the circumstances we really don't know, but when you see a young man like that, you just throw up your hands and say, wow,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gone. One
right.
thing I actually wanted to bring up to you, since it is basketball, but it's not NBA basketball, but the NCAA has now
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
76 teams. 76. What do you think, Mr. Zubulake? I know. I knew you were going to give it the thumbs down.
Terrible. Just an absolute. It's 68 was too many, and go back to 64. John, the money, cha-ching. It just this year's bubble was so weak, and now you're telling me there's going to be another 8 teams on top of that. Who wants to watch teams that are 500 during the regular season? You're just cheapening the regular season, and then you're destroying all these other postseason tournaments, obviously, because I just it's such a money grab. But what isn't, John? What is it?
Yeah, everything is. Everything is.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. I think it's terrible. Now, the tournament is still going to be great because they're just going to have more playing games, right? That's what they're ultimately going to do. But it's just not it's not riveting stuff. I mean, it's just everybody's into picking the teams, and now you're adding even more. I mean, let's face it, 90% of the population doesn't know even the 68 teams. Now you're
Yeah.
going to add some other ones that are just like I mean, if you look at like this past year, Baylor might have made the tournament at like 17-17. I mean, come on, you can't. It's just, you gotta you gotta have the regular season mean something. You just cannot. It's brutal. Anyway,
Well, the funny thing is, and this will be the last thing I
yeah,
speak about basketball, but St. John's has
yes,
been making all these moves that they're more than three-quarters of their team is going to be from Europe. I mean,
yeah,
they just got, I
yeah,
mean, you talk about Euro players. They just got one today. His last name is, I think it was Bain. But he's
I didn't
23
see it.
years old.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
say he's a monster. He's not a center. He's a 6'8", 230-pound forward. But he's, I mean, these guys are coming from England, from France. This one's from Germany. I
yeah.
mean, they're gonna have an entire. They still don't have a center. I don't know what they're gonna do for a center here, but you mentioned about the no Euro players coming out this year. Well, St. John's will be supplying plenty next year because a
Well, we'll
lot of
see
them
how
are
good
just
they are.
1 year. They're just one
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how good they are. We'll see how good they are. So
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the kid they just signed. I missed that news. I know they had signed some others. Yeah, this is now an unfortunate trend where you're getting the guys who played professionally in Europe coming over and playing college basketball at 23. What has he got? 4 years of eligibility at 23? I mean,
No, they're gonna decide if he has 1 or 2 years.
so that's what they're going to do. So
Yeah.
not a great development. I know. Bottom line is we'll still love college hoops because it's great. We love hoops in general. The NBA is all about the playoffs as we're seeing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just quickly on another winter sport, the NHL. Speaking of draft lotteries, another convoluted way of doing it. I was lucky. I didn't watch it, but somebody told me who was watching it. It was like they gave out false hope that the Rangers could move up, and it had to be like some combination of no. I mean, what happened to just balancing your ping pong balls and just letting it rip and what just tell us who the team is, not like some sort of mathematical equation or something has to happen combination. So bottom line is the Rangers will be picking fifth instead of third. That's where they finished. They dropped down. Not great news. It's a draft. Again, hockey draft is a lot different than the NBA draft, right? Because we see all the draft picks for the most part. In hockey, you don't see any of these kids, right? They're all
Yeah.
in juniors, and some college kids in the States. So you really don't know. Allegedly, it's a draft of really a couple, like 3 guys who are forwards who are the top guys, and the Rangers need help up front. It's a defenseman laden draft after that. They might have to take a defenseman, blah, blah. It's just, with the NHL, it's so different where most of the time the guys don't even contribute the first couple of years. Now, sometimes they do. Obviously, the Islanders with Schaefer, he contributed a tremendous amount. So it is with the Rangers. They are what they are. I tell you, Jim Dolan doesn't care right now because all he's thinking about is the Knicks. But, when Leon Rose is doing a great job and Chris Jury's doing a lousy job, will be very interesting to see how much more rope he has. So that's it for winter sports. And I guess football's kind of a winter sport, right, John?
Yeah.
So we'll go to the NFL.
We
Quickly, I
finally
wanted
got
to
some
bring.
good news. We
Well,
finally
I
got
will get to that in a sec. I'll let you get to that in a sec. But yeah, since the last time we spoke, there's been some Jet news. But one thing I wanted to correct, not a correction, just to add on, I had mentioned regarding who to root for and root against next year. So the Jets have the Colts pick. That's official. The other pick, which is coming from the Cowboys actually have 2 picks. So technically, it's the better or the higher pick between Dallas's own pick and Green Bay.
Hmm.
So I wanted to point that out because I had that wrong. It's not a straight Cowboy pick. So if Green Bay has a worse season than the Cowboys, the Jets would actually get their selection. So
Okay.
there are 3 teams to root against next year, and hopefully one of them has a lousy year. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Yeah, that was so that's this. I wanted to make that correction. So I'll let you take the latest news, and I think we'll both be happy about this one.
Yeah, I mean, signing, we were begging for it. We finally got it. Brees Hall, 3 years, $46 million. So he's the third highest paid running back in the NFL, which is about right.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that he hopefully will live up to that this, because let's face it, I mean, it's so hard to kind of put him in a list because the Jets have just been so non-competitive.
I know.
So it's so hard to say because again, you could argue last year he had a great year for just an absolutely horrific offense. But yeah, this was so important because we don't want the distraction. You want him to be happy. And John, the bottom line is the Jets are winning the offseason. Now, this is not the first time this franchise has won the offseason. I mean, people getting a little giddy. Now like talking about Clay Klubnik like he's the next coming of a great leader and potential starting quarterback. So I would just temper my enthusiasm there. But they're signing their draft picks right away. That's good. So they're doing a solid job. This is what solid organizations are doing, and they're taking care of their own good players, not seeing them traded away. But on the other side of this, John, let's face it. If somebody offered a 3rd-round pick for Brees Hall at the trade deadline last year, I think he gets traded.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, just to think about how close they were to not having him this year. So that part of it's a little shaky. Maybe they wouldn't have traded him for a 3rd. I don't know. We'll never know. So it doesn't matter, right? So he's in the fold.
As long as he's not injured. I mean, the one thing I will say about Brees is I was very happy for him because uh, they actually showed him crying when he ended up getting the contract. He was really overwhelmed with, and he says, this is what I've been waiting for. I felt for the kid because he really has put his heart into this team, and he wants to win so badly.
I know. We all
Same
want to
thing.
win.
Same thing
Yeah.
with Wilson. Wilson is another kid. He wants to win. I
Oh,
mean, you have
John.
2 talents here, and on such a lousy team.
Well, they got some reinforcements. I mean, they definitely got some players now on offense that we hopefully can develop. And Gino's going to be the hold the fort get the franchise in the right direction. QB, again, they win in the offseason. The fan base is way too goog. This is like it's over the top. It's okay.
They
I mean, I
always
get
are.
it.
They
I
always
get
are.
it. Who wants to be negative? I mean, I don't want
Right.
to be negative.
Right.
So, and I said my piece about what they did in the draft, and again, it was a good draft. I'm not giving it like it's A pluses, which again were worthless. So we'll see how it plays out, John. One thing I also wanted to point out quickly with regarding next year's draft, again, there's nothing more useless than people putting out mock drafts for next season when you don't even know what the order of the teams are. You base it on the Vegas odds, which is again, it's just kind of ridiculous. But the funny thing is, some of the draft gurus have put out some lists regarding quarterback, because let's face it, that's what we're going to focus on all season next year on the college level. And one person had Dante Moore as the number one quarterback over Arch Manning, which I think he had third because he had the kid from who's going to Miami, Darian Mensah, second. And again, it's one man's opinion. But the point is, if anybody watched Dante Moore last year and now are hearing that he could be the number one guy next year, it does put the brakes on like how like easy it's going to be to find a quarterback even next year. So this is again, we're talking in May. The college football season is starting in September, so we got plenty of time to go down this road. Yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks bringing hope to the city that, and the Jets and the Giants, both of them, especially with the Giants with the new head coach, is that I mean we got to get NFL football back in the tri-state area, John.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We need it.
Like I said, I have a lot more optimism for the Giants just because of their coach. You have a winner. They've been making some really good moves. I mean, they're going to be a solid team next year. They're
Yeah,
going to be
well,
solid.
yeah. I mean, if
I won't
Dart,
be.
it's all in Dart's hands, John.
Yeah, right.
If Dart, it really advances, then you talk. I agree with you totally. And hopefully, with a solid head coach who's not going to be an emotional mess like Dayball was, is that Dart has to listen. This is something we've talked about how many times, is that he cannot expose his body to
Yeah.
damage. And
Oh yeah.
I hope Harbaugh is going to be smart enough that he has to learn. He's not going to survive, John. He's not. He can't play Superman at quarterback. I don't care how tough you are. You can watch all the Brett Favre films that you want. You just got to protect yourself. And he can't take unnecessary hits.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just he's just not that big. And so hopefully for Giant fans' sake, he gets it. Neighbors is healthy. They should be fun to watch. I mean, again, John, there's only one way to go. I mean, I mean, we just have to get quality play this year. We just have to. And I guess the other big thing is we should mention, right? Thursday, the schedule is coming out.
Oh yeah.
And I will throw it out there again. A friend of mine, I'll give him credit if he's right. I'll predict it right here. Opening day, because it looks like it will be a road game because the Giants are opening at home. Jets at Titans, John. That's the prediction of the Bouk and Zoobie show.
All
Me and a
right.
friend of mine. The NFL always has a good sense of humor when it comes to the Jets. So Robert Saleh against Aaron Glenn, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Let's see.
We'll
Let's
find
see.
out on Thursday.
And you have Dayball over there too. That.
And Dayball's there too. So I think Dayball will be a fine assistant coach. There's just certain guys that are just made out to be assistants.
Yeah.
Saleh, I still ultimately believe, is one of those guys. He deserves another shot. Don't get me wrong, but I still think it's proven out. Aaron Glenn is also looking possibly like one of those guys. Hopefully, he proves us wrong. So yeah, it's all happy times, John. I mean, it's all happiness. Oh, except
Uh-oh.
except because there's only one place to go for unhappiness. It's time for baseball with Bouk?
Uh,
Where do you start? Oh, on the bottom, because that's where the Mets are.
that's where the Mets are, and that's where they will remain. It's funny, for those of you who don't know, Paul and I text each other quite a bit between shows. It doesn't matter during the day. It doesn't even matter what time of day.
Yeah, I know,
And
John. You like to text very early in the morning, by the way. So
yeah,
that's
I know,
I'll
I
let
know, I know.
anyway, go continue.
I know. People wonder what the hell is he doing up so early. But there was one text coming from Mr. Zubulake, which I still laugh over, when you mentioned about the outfield that one night that the Mets had. And for those of you who don't know what we're referring to, the outfield that Mr. Zubulake was, I wouldn't use the word distressed, but maybe disgusted was more like it,
Yeah, not definitely not distressed.
was you had Austin Slater, left field, you had Tyrone Taylor, center field, and then you had this loser Ibanez in right field. Okay. Boy Blunder continues to pick up these retreads and decides, I don't know who thought this up, to put Ibanez to play third base the other day. The guy, first of all, the guy can't hit for squat. They put him at third base. He basically cost them the game because he made two throwing errors from third base. I mean, now they're bringing up AJ Ewing, who just started. He was in Double A last year.
Yeah, tell us about him. Yeah.
Started Triple A. Okay, he's been doing pretty well, but they just started. He's 21 years old. He's going to be in a lineup tonight. He's in a lineup tonight. Outfield. He's a little spark plug. It's funny. We were critical of our other friend that was playing the outfield, and you know what? He's been hitting since we've been talking about him.
Who, Benj?
Bench,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's playing better. Yeah, no, I told him last thing I think I said about him is that he should go down. I was wrong. He's playing better,
He's
right?
he's he actually plays a tremendous outfield. I love watching him play the outfield. He's getting more comfortable. This is what I'm saying. Just play the kids. You want to, let the fans have something to see. Like Christian Scott has been pitching well.
Right.
McLean pitching well. Holmes. I mean, there's some talent here, but
Right.
let the kids play. We have nothing else to play for. They're not getting to the playoffs. They're not winning the championship. Let's just get rid of all these deadbeats, the Slaters of the world, the Ibanez of the. Why are they taking up a roster spot? Just get rid of these deadbeats.
So what was the move when they brought Ewing up? Who did
I you
Ibanez
know
get
I have no
released?
idea. I'm
Oh, yeah.
assuming
Okay. It has to
that
be.
maybe they got rid of Ibanez. I mean, this
It has
guy
to be, right?
is terrible player. He's just a terrible player. So, listen, the 10 games under, we're 40 games in. It's 25% of the season's gone. And people say, wow, the 2024 Mets, it was similar and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but they had some veterans on that team. They had
They had
Pete
good players.
Alonso. They
Yeah, they
had
had players.
Memo. We had players on that team.
Yeah.
You can't expect this team to come out of nowhere and make the playoffs. There's no chance. And
Well,
you still have Philadelphia ahead of you. Philadelphia is going to make their move sooner or later. I mean,
well, they're winning. Like, aren't they on a little streak, right?
yeah, they were on. When Mattingly, they had won I believe, their first 4 or 5 games. They lost a couple,
Okay.
but they got rid of Taiwan Walker, which I'm surprised that they didn't do that sooner and eat his salary. I don't know what happened to him after he left the Mets. He was terrible for the Phillies.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
They gave him 4 years. He was only good for 1 year. And the last time we spoke was about 2 weeks ago, and we were saying, well, why don't the Mets offer Cora the job? Well, they still have Mendoza, but the Phillies, and Dombrowski immediately offered him the job,
Right.
and he turned them down. They're probably, unless Mattingly does something miraculous this year, Cora will be your Phillies manager next year.
Next year. It sounded like he wanted to take a year off, right? It sounded like
Yeah,
he
well,
just
why
wanted
not? You
to.
get paid $7 million to sit on a beach. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
He doesn't have
Take
to
a
do
break.
anything.
Yeah, no, it's tough. That's a long season, it's a slog. Yeah. So the only thing I guess people can bring up as a bright spot is, and this is just again another problem, and I don't know why the MLB's happy about this, but John, you look at the standings. It's everybody's got the same record. It's just this
Yeah,
balanced schedule is killing this sport.
yeah,
And the Mets, like it's I mean, can they how many more late starts are they gonna have? Right? They were playing Arizona on the road, and now they're playing the Tigers. It's
right.
like this is like I'm sorry. It's just crazy, right? When they haven't played the Phillies or the Braves. Isn't that correct? They have
Yeah,
the only
it's ridiculous.
and
Yeah,
have they played the Marlins or is it just the Nationals they've played in the division? Did they play the
they
Marlins?
play. I think they played the Marlins in the beginning of the year.
The
They
beginning,
usually do.
right? I mean, I don't understand why is the sport going in this direction where they have to you're spending all this time on one coast. I just don't get it,
I,
right?
I,
It
I
really
don't like I said to Mr. Vaccaro a couple of years ago. I made the comment to him that why bother having a national or American league now? I mean, you're just playing each other. It it's there's no need for it anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like
They've
why is
ruined
that
it.
a positive? I don't understand
I
why
don't
is that
like
a
it at
positive?
all.
Right. I just don't get it.
The whole reason to have a World Series is you haven't
Right.
faced each other all year.
You would
Okay?
hope that, right? Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's
That,
the way it should be. But now we're playing the Tigers, and and talk about a team that
they
without
stink, right?
Struble, it's
Yeah.
he's going to be out for a while. And you talk about timing for him. This is his big free agent year, and you know that the Mets were going to jump in on that one to get him. And now what? He has chips in his elbow, and it's going to be a couple of months for him. One thing I wanted to bring up, by the way, we talk about injuries, is Carlos Correa. Good call by the Giants and the Mets not signing him to a contract because this guy's out 6 to 9 months. And what does he do? He tore his left tendon in his ankle by swinging a bat.
Yeah. How do you do
Now,
that?
well, you think about it. He has problems with his right ankle. He has all the screws and everything that they were worried about. So you would think if he's favoring that, he's putting more pressure on the other ankle. And yeah, I mean, this guy's a mess. Thank God they didn't sign him. I mean, he's the Astros for some reason said, "Oh, we'll take him." He's not the same player that when he left you. And the other thing that came up, I don't know if you heard about this, is Pete Alonso. Now Heyman
Oh yes.
has
Yeah. Yeah.
Heyman has decided to reveal. I don't know why he didn't reveal this earlier. If he knew
True.
this,
If he knew this, yeah.
if he knew this, that Pete Alonso last year when he went to meet Stearns and Cohen in Tampa,
This is
and
before the last season. Before last season.
before last season, where basically there was no interest in Alonso because they had a draft pick or whatever compensation
Right.
pick
Right.
attached to him. And he made the comment to Stearns because obviously Stearns probably started talking his mumbo jumbo about analytics and all this, and Alonso says when they're considering me for the Hall of Fame, you could stick those analytics up your you know what. And I'm like, good for Pete, good for Pete. This guy deserved to hear that because it's not always analytics when you're talking about players playing in New York. I mean, people forget that it's not very easy to not only live in New York, but imagine you're an athlete in New York and you have all this media. We've seen so many instances where players fall apart and they just, and when they leave from here, they do well. But when they come here, particularly with the Mets. They come in as superstars from elsewhere, and then they crumble.
Well, he
I
can
think,
play here, and it was so weird because I did catch him. I guess they played the Yankees, right? The
right.
O's, and just seeing him at first base, I was just like, man, this is so depressing. This just should have never ever happened. And as the Mets literally go through how many guys have played
Oh my
first base
God.
already this year, it's just it's brutal. It's brutal. But you know, one thing I wanted to bring up, and it's funny because I've been checking the standings. Right, it's fascinating. The American League, John.
They're horrible.
I mean, the
Horrible.
Rays. Kudos to the Rays and the Yanks, right?
Right.
So those teams, Rays are 14 over, the Yanks are 10 over coming into tonight. There are only two other teams in the whole freaking league that are above 500. One of them, the Guardians, one game over, and then the Athletics are
Yeah.
two over. And this is all being created by the ridiculous balanced schedule where because the American League is playing the National League, which is much tougher, even though the East it's a comedy in the East, where the Braves, John, up by 9 games
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
And it's just like you look at the other teams. I mean, the Central, everybody's 3 games over 500. All
Yeah.
5 teams are over 3 games over 500.
Yeah.
So, like you mentioned, because the bottom line is with the Mets literally have the worst record in baseball, but in the East, they're only 3 down on the loss column to the second place team, but it really
Right.
means nothing
Right.
because all the wild cards are coming from the Central and the West. So, if you
American
like
League is horrible.
right, but the point is because the American League is so weak and the balanced schedule, the National League, these teams are going to have much better records. And a team like the Mets, they have no chance at
No
this point,
chance.
even though it's only a quarter way through. If you look at how many teams are ahead of them, and because these teams they're not going to have to play each other as much. And
Right.
that's what's happening in the league because so little interdivision play is going on. You're spending all this time playing in the American League. This,
It's ridiculous.
you know, the
It's ridiculous. It's
But the
really
funny
ridiculous.
thing is, John, I guess it was last week that came out. The ratings are as high as ever, and the attendance is as high as ever. So I guess we're just I guess two grumpy old guys sometimes when it comes to our
They
beloved
haven't seen
sports.
City
Right?
Field. They haven't seen City Field with the
Well,
announced attendance
well,
of
that's announced, right?
34,000 and 5,000 people actually showing up.
Well, John, when was the last time they were home? I mean, it's almost like I don't even every game. I'm like, oh, where are the Mets? Oh, it starts at 9:30, 9:50, 10:30. I mean, it's like okay, so finally, because I'm actually trying to get
Yeah,
the starting
they're playing
lineup.
the Tigers
Yeah, they're
home.
playing. So I just wanted to see what the Mets starting lineup is, and just we'll get a kick out of that. So Benj is leading off. So they
Oh,
got Soto back in the 3 hole, and Ewing is batting eighth and
eight.
playing center field.
Okay.
So Melendez is DHing, and Beatty's playing third.
Yeah,
Just
leave them there. Just
they
leave
messed
them
him
there.
up. They
Leave
messed him
them
up.
there. Now that Lindor's hurt, they're putting Bichette at
It's
short.
short. Yeah,
Fine. It's fine.
yeah,
Actually, Bichette looks pretty good at shortstop.
yeah.
But
Anyway, and Peralta's pitching tonight.
yeah,
He can't be a big money guy, John, right? I mean,
trade
Holmes
him.
has been tremendous. Holmes,
Trade
and
him.
like you said,
Yeah.
Scott's pitched well, McLean's good. They have starting pitching, as you mentioned. Their pitching's and bullpen's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just can't freaking hit, right? I mean,
No,
it's
no.
brutal.
And the funny thing is we spoke about Luis Roberts' arm. Well, we got our answer. The man has had a herniated disc in his spine for
Yes,
since the beginning of the year. It just didn't happen now. They've been
yeah,
actually treating him for this now.
injured. Yeah,
He's probably going to have to get surgery.
it's brutal.
He's going to
Yeah.
be out because we saw it. I mean, he just wasn't going all out.
I still can't believe. I know we've talked about this a few times, but I still can't believe nobody talked about him. I'm so disappointed in the booth. I don't know, maybe because Keith has been hurt himself. I
Yeah,
don't know, or they don't care because the team's not that good. Like, how did that not get noticed? And I was just like, again, I know you notice everything, and that's why I mentioned it to you. I'm like, I thought he had a gun.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. Play the kids. They got nothing to lose. I mean, so the Mets, it's John. It's brutal.
Just let him play. I mean,
Brutal. Brutal.
a good. I'll give Boy Blunder some credit because the Melendez, and I know this guy Melendez. He was from the Royals.
Yeah, yeah.
Was a good pick. That was a good pickup. Guy's a good hitter. As a fielder, not so much, but he's actually a pretty good hitter.
Right, but
Um,
also gives him a quality bat off the bench. And the
right,
problem is he's playing. I guess he's playing against right-handers, right? So he's playing a lot. He's like a perfect guy to kind of be like a guy off the bench, right?
right,
Pinch
right,
hitter, occasionally start. Him and Taylor, they're good fourth, fifth, sixth
right,
outfielders.
right.
But when they have to play every day, they get exposed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, John. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. It just I mean they're just lucky the Knicks are just I guess they're just taking all the headlines in the tri-state, and then I guess across town we have barely talked about them, but the Yankees obviously their starting pitching, speaking of starting pitching, they got a lot of it.
No, they listen. My prediction for the Yankees, they will make it to the World Series. It's either going to be against the Braves or the Dodgers again. They'll end up losing, but the thing is they one thing they do have, and once they get Cole back, they're strong. I mean, they're strong in a very weak league. They should really glide through the playoffs. I mean, they really have a nice staff, really nice staff. Um, the fact that they brought up Volpe finally because Caballero ended up getting hurt. Caballero was a very good pickup from the Rays. I mean, he was doing well until he dislocated his I think a finger the other game. So Volpe's going to be starting again at shortstop. But the Yankees look good. The Yankees look good. I mean, the Rays, they're amazing. Maybe they're happy because they're back at the Trop again.
Yeah, that helps. Well, it helps. I mean, yeah, you want
Yeah.
to an
Even though it's,
alleged home
it's probably the
stadium.
worst stadium.
Oh, I don't
Have you ever
like
been to the Trop?
no, no, I've heard it's
Oh,
a horror show.
it
Yeah.
is. I went there because my mom lived in the area, and I said, let's go to a Rays game. And at that time, Chris Sale was pitching, which he pitched a great game. But I said to my mother, this is terrible. This stadium. I said, there's nothing here. And I remember when we were walking through, when we got tickets, and the guy goes to me, oh, there's going to be a really good crowd here today. And I'm saying to myself, what is he talking about? And the announced crowd was like 14,000. I mean, they don't even support that team when they
Yeah,
were
no.
really good.
But
Um,
the New York guys sold the team, right? They sold it. They have new owners now,
yeah,
right?
they're going to get them a new stadium. Yeah, they'll
They
get
got
them a
to.
new stadium. It's going to be in Tampa. Um, Besides, we're talking about the Yankees. John Sterling passed away.
All right,
And
you
for
should
those of
mention
you
that.
who don't know about John Sterling, people like to call his type of announcing being a homer. He definitely was a homer,
He was, yeah.
but I used to like listening to him. I mean, listen, as much as a homer he was, I used to love hearing him call the home runs for the Yankees. Uh, if it was against the Mets, I used to get annoyed, but that's all right. But the guy had a nice personality. And for Yankee fans, it made me tolerate, his colleague that was yapping away during the telecast, Susan Waldman. I mean, made he made her tolerable. I don't know why everyone says she's such a great announcer. I just can't listen to that woman. Sorry.
She's no Doris Burke, though.
Oh, please, Doris Burke, another bad one.
Well, actually, it's funny. Speaking, anyway, I was going to make fun of R.J. Jefferson, who's like these guys. It's like I hate when they have two people in the booth. I mean, two commentators, right? They have the one play-by-play, and they got two of them, and it's like they can't shut up.
Yeah,
And yeah, Jefferson,
between him and Legler that they can't
yeah,
stop.
and they're trying to like they're fighting with each other, and it's like it's not good. You guys just
It's not Mark
don't
Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, which was
right.
they
You
were a
got
great announcing team.
Right. It's very hard. If being funny is very hard, you want to be witty, and if you make a joke here and there, but don't try to like pretend yucking it up and trying to like create like comedy because it's
Yeah.
bad. And there's nothing. I mean, and again, we're getting off of baseball, but I just thought it quickly popped in my head because all these games on the NBA on every freaking network, it's like an adventure every night trying to
Oh,
figure out where
please.
the games are. But these post pre games and these half times, I mean, it almost I'm like begging to go back on TNT. I don't know. I mean, it's I never really liked those guys, but at least they were maybe tolerable. But now there's so many different networks and so many different people, and I'm like, who are these people? And it's just the hostesses are always like they're there for one reason, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know, it's enough. And again,
Well,
another guy, there's another funky man comment by the end of the show.
it's funny. What is it? Prime. You know, when they have the Prime pregame.
You're right.
So the hostess used to work for SNY. You remember her? She worked for SN.
I actually completely forgot that, but I was telling a friend of mine the story about you got to see the hostess on the Prime pregame, and he's like, "Oh, that's like Taylor Rooks is her name? Is that her
Yeah,
name?"
I think that's her name.
And he
Yeah.
goes, "She used to be on SNY," and I'm harking back, and I'm like, "Wait a second." I'm like, "Oh, I kind of remember her." Yeah, she definitely has a skill set. Let's just put it that
Yeah. Well, the if you ever want to see her skill set, um, there's an interview. It's the funniest interview of all time
way.
because I know that Dwayne Wade's wife must have been seething after watching that, where he was just he couldn't pay attention. He just kept leering at her.
So she was interviewing
Dwayne
Dwayne
Wade.
Wade.
Well, yeah, this was I think
Was it
I don't know
this
if it
year
was with
or
SNY.
no?
You got to see it.
No.
It's the most hilarious thing on YouTube, where he's like the guy was tongue tied. I'm like, okay. I said I know what Dwayne Wade was thinking about there. Uh,
uh,
before we
uh,
leave,
before we
man, we went around in a circle here.
Yeah, I know.
Taylor
Well,
Rooks,
it's John. It's it's non-football season. This is what
two
happens,
two
right? Yeah.
people that we really have to recognize,
Yes.
and they passed away within days of each other, and they made a big impact with the Atlanta Braves. Was Bobby Cox and
Yes.
Ted Turner.
No. Yeah. It's
Uh,
true.
Within days of each other. You know, one thing about Bobby Cox is I did not know know this fact that he is. I thought Billy Martin held the record. He
Yeah.
is holds the record for being thrown out of the
Yeah.
most games as Bobby Cox.
Yes.
I was like, wow. You know, I mean, you always looked at him. You know, he was just you know
Well, he was a good manager and he had a good
he
team,
was an
so you
excellent
figured.
manager.
But you would think that he wouldn't have to get thrown out that much because his team was good. But yeah, so I think you're heading to it. It was 162 times, right? Was that it? A
Yeah,
full
100.
baseball season.
Yeah, that's. But the thing is that the Braves were in first place every year. The Braves were in the playoffs almost every year. It's a shame they only won one World Series with that team. I mean, you talk about three Hall of Fame pitchers, you know, just some some World Series really bad luck. I mean, how many times are we going to talk about you know, with the Twins that they should have won that World Series, but base running mistakes killed them. Um, but overall, you know, the guy was a great manager. And then Ted Turner is another guy that just basically turned around all of cable TV. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, to
Sure.
start CNN, TNT. I mean, the guy was amazing. And I don't know if I ever told you this story. So when I was in Greece in 1985, I will never forget this. I was on an island, and I actually, you know, at the time I'm 21 years old, and you know, I met this young lady that was going around Greece, and she told me that she worked for Ted Turner at the time. that she had just started out the job. She was a little bit older than I was, and I said, "Wow," I said, "that sounds great. What are they going to do there?" And she says, "We're going to have sports. We're going to have this we have this all news." I didn't have cable at the time, so I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. And I never forget. I said, "Well, do you think that they would hire a young man to do sports over there?" And she goes, "Listen, make the call. Give me a phone number." I never made the call. I was too involved in, my own things with the Mets and everything. I was going to get the internship, but it was just so funny thinking about Ted Turner when he passed away, about that one conversation I had with this young lady in Greece about her working for Ted Turner.
Well,
She
I know.
was from Atlanta. She was from Atlanta too.
Yeah, no, he built up that city. First team to be on, right? That was a big thing back then.
Yep. Yeah. No, he's like I said, sorry for the passing of them. They did great things for Atlanta. You're not going to see anything like that again, as far as I'm concerned. They were at the right place, both of them at the right time. I mean, Bobby Cox, if you think about it, was the manager of the Blue Jays, left them, became the general manager of the Braves, then decided he didn't like the manager and put himself in as the manager, and then remained there. And
Well,
it's actually his GM actually was the guy who picked the pocket of the Tigers for Smoltz. He got Glavine. He got Maddox. He did all of that.
yeah,
Everyone thinks it's Sherholtz that did everything. No, it was him. He put
yeah, you're
together
right.
that team.
No, that was he had a great run. Sorry to hear on both counts. You're right. They're two major, players in the build up of baseball in the, post 1980, right? That's pretty much. And
Yeah.
also, let's face it, people forget. Most of the people probably watching this, the baseball strike was 84, right? Was that the strike when baseball didn't play the World
90,
Series? Was it
94.
94? 94, right?
94.
So, it was a big mountain to climb to get baseball back to where it is again today, despite all our complaining. But mostly it's about the Mets. Hey, maybe David Stearns will become manager this year, John. There you go. That would be
Oh,
pretty
please.
funny.
Yeah. He wouldn't make it one game.
So, hey, I'm gonna open it up before we close, John. Did we forget anything? Have we caught everything? Because again, we're on again, we're fighting
Oh,
YouTube, so we want to be on at least every 3 weeks, which I think we're going to end up being. So I do see. What do we got? You got another topic for
one thing
one thing?
that I rarely watch horse racing.
Okay.
Kentucky Derby. Boy, that was some comeback by that horse. And this woman, DeVoe was her
Yeah,
name?
DeVoe was your last name. Yeah,
First
first.
female trainer and from New York, from upstate New York. She's from, I think, Saratoga somewhere.
Okay. I
Yeah.
did not. I don't know where she's from. Yes, that is
Yeah, she's
true.
from New York. Yeah, upstate New
First
York.
woman trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. Not the first one to win a Triple Crown race, actually, but
Right.
still the first one to win. And then unfortunately is not running in the Preakness,
Right.
which is next week, or this weekend coming up, I should say, which I guess helps the Belmont out because this way that horse, like what was the name of the horse again? Something Moment or something? I don't even remember the
Yeah.
name.
But that
Golden
was
Moment. Was it Golden Moment? I think
I
that
don't
was the name.
remember.
Anyway, yeah.
But that was
So
some right. I mean, if you watch that race, that
yeah,
was
of
some
course I was
comeback.
watching it.
That was some
Basically came
comeback.
from last place and won. Definitely comes off the pace. That's why Belmont will fit that horse perfectly. Unfortunately, wants to rest because it's shorter distance. It's harder to come from behind. So we will not have a Triple Crown attempt at Belmont, but at least that horse will come back, and whoever wins the Preakness, there'll be some intrigue. So yeah, Triple Crown. Yeah, we got to mention it all. I've been watching a ton of golf lately. And then another big sport quickly, let's face it, John. I mean, we're probably not going to talk about it too much, but I actually love the World Cup. I really do. And it's coming to the United States and Canada and Mexico, I guess, right? All three countries are
Yeah.
hosting. The U.S. does not have much of a team. They probably won't go anywhere. But it's always interesting to watch because, I mean, let's face it, I just love sports where fans get into it. Yeah, that starts early June, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not going to say Bouk and Zoobie is going to be having a World Cup prediction show or not, but it should be fun. Despite the fact that I think we didn't we talk about maybe the trains into the Meadowlands? Didn't we kind of mention that? So
Yeah, yeah. Did you hear
just
what they're doing to the fans? How
well,
much they
they're
want to
charging a
charge
lot,
them?
but yeah, again, if we have anybody who watches our show or listens in, even if you're paying that money for that train, folks, beware that that train does not go through, it goes in and it goes out. And that's a huge problem when you're trying to get a bunch of people out of a stadium in a short period of time because only one train can go in and then it fills up and then it has to go out and then another one can come in. Whatever drunken sailor decided to build it that way, typical tri-state area construction. Great idea to have a train, but if you don't have trains coming through consistently, it's a nightmare.
Yep.
So I'm just warning anybody out there. It's like parking in a 5-floor garage at a sporting event or like one of these 10-floor garages. Never do that, folks, because you might spend 2 hours after the game getting out of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, just warning the fans. It may be if somebody could just drop you off on Patterson Plank Road, and then you can walk in. I think that's the way to go. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to discover that. I mean, they're going to try to do Ubers and stuff, but just get a friend, drop yourself off, and you can walk in the back way off of Route 120, the old way I used to get into Jet games. Never parked in the lot, and you can, but at least you can get to the game and get out of the game without really having a hassle.
Is
So
it
there's the.
is there any like mall that's nearby there that they could just leave their car and take an Uber from that's close by?
I
Other
mean,
than that big monstrosity that they built nearby the
no, no, nothing. Now the thing is, you can, Uber obviously can get you there. It's getting out is the problem, right? Because the Uber's got to get you where you are, and you're not going to be able to get in and out
but
of that
isn't that
place.
American Dream Mall nearby there?
Yeah, yeah, it's right there. It's right there. But
Yeah, so
I
why
mean, yeah,
can't you just park there and walk it?
I don't even know if there's a safe way of doing it. That's a good question. But yeah, that would be like an area to drop off and pick up or something. It's a good question, John, and I don't know if you can safely walk it. That's a good question. I do not know
Okay.
the answer to that. So yeah, and like the bottom line is the Meadowlands has places to park, and they're not letting people park, so only the VIPs. So anyway, I might have to close the show today. So thanks as always to our great producer, Zach Zubulake, and our community partners, the Ronald McDonald House, Kids in Seats, and the Jackie Robinson Foundation. So we will see you next time.